was saying Parliament of Ghana. Yeah, because they must suspend the sitting. In fact, the idea is to dissolve Parliament, but dissolving no better so it's 11:59 until must suspend the Parliament. I don't know how they're going to go and dissolve it. Whether with the suspension automatically 11:59 it dissolves on its own. Because if there was anything called dissolving at this time, it means that then the presidency to as a on them change. What happened is that was suspended Parliament. You know, say majority leader, minority leader, be and then the final, conclusion or whatever happened within the 8 Parliament. Normally, are tuja. Acheche or munse munia dia. Kwame waha. Obebro ba ko mienu miense bi so. Ye touch screen so. Na answer na mame welcome Al-Wahab. And Farouk Al-Wahab. Hey, I come in Pemwasem. Many are penny or high, but international relations is an aspect. And we are told, say, 10 heads of state in Ghana. In fact, when His Excellency President-elect, we saw him going around, some heads of states, people were wondering what was happening. And probably Farouk Al-Wahab. Ebetimi acheche mu why and the need to have some heads of state here during the inauguration. Farouk Al-Wahab me kwaba pom say
bacho you
afishiapa afina yenshia
yes let's be more watch
pa ye hu ache but ye be adwuma 2025 ye be a lot of work ema ya hodin ye better ye adwuma no papa. I mean, what happened in Parliament now? The speaker and the cast attended, but we've been here for a while. It got to a point you realize Onua man who accolates any idea. But yeah, after all, when our chairman became mama, he also talked about the fact that advice must be solicited. It's not all the time that you solicit for advice. Sometimes you need to be told. Sometimes to me, you're too full. To me, show a foot to mouth force. Or near Futobia now, so Kobisa. A bit of one so bisa, but any nani bisa. A bit of one who can say a bit me a bem near 2 for any idea. Upian chen, aha, nafi microphone and calling him. Memo Aquabe, what would you say in contest as in 8 Parliament or mass suspending and then what we watched?
Well, I'm in child native for or listeners, or viewers, so
you're right.
Mema or more afishapa. Okay, I think what he seeks to do,
yes,
and idea a very normal session and normal practices of Parliament. Say we are in the 4th Republic still, because they haven't been overthrown of any constitution, and we are still using the 1991, 92 constitution. Onua yadiwom. And if you look at it from the point, say, Yabenya the 8th government under the 4th Republic. Now, peaceful succession and peaceful transitions, elections, transfer of power. Now, you call the 9th Parliament. It is commonly practicable and appropriate. Say, Parliament, a bit move. And this is a school near Koya, and Kahati say, Ufri, Form 5, Airco, Lower 6. Says form.
Yeah.
It is the same thing that the Parliament moves. Now, the most interesting thing is that, yes, the same Speaker of Parliament is the one who has been retained
for the 9th Parliament.
Yes, for the 9th Parliament ahead of time. Yes, you can say now, Onua knows some colleagues. He comes in with one huge background of experience.
That's right.
That is to say that on any the longest Africa serving parliamentarian.
Yes.
He was nearly 31 years in Parliament.
Wow.
And having been in Parliament, he has been a minority leader in Parliament. And same time, he has been a majority leader in Parliament. Sure. And then he has consistently also been a parliamentary, a Speaker of Parliament for 8 years. And then he would also be the first parliamentary Speaker of Parliament for another 4 years. So that is to say that he's the only person who is breaking the 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you understand me? Onuna breaking the 8 in terms of number of years Obiawa in Parliament. So it will tell you, say, he has a certain experience. One thing I can say,
as a DFN, so it was that kind of experience.
DFN call saying
2.
They call 2, but
when they break 8.
DFN break 8. There be in the second. We call 4 years, and he's going another 4 years.
Yeah. Aaron Michael Quay was a speaker during 2020. And then Alban became speaker 2020, sorry. 2020. I mean 2016 to 2020.
Okay, yes.
This one 2021.
Yes, so that is true. Yeah. Sorry about that. So he's actually even gunning for 2 terms. Yes. Which is not bad. Now, if you look at it from the angle, yeah, that's true. If you look at it from the angle, say with his background experience as a lawyer who understands the parliamentary affairs, or a very technical. I've listened to him. Now, Aban is a very good friend that I know. Yeah. He respects Oseche Mensah as one of the pillars of the parliament. And even when Oseche Mensah was going out of parliament, he wasn't happy with it because the two of them comes with a very huge experience. Oseche Mensah by 96 parliament. But Wayne was there in 92, or by 96, or by 2000, or by 04, or by 08, or by 12, and now about 16, and 20, or by a speaker. But what I say, and to share how or handle even the issue of the judiciary. People may not understand and being a bit political about it. Yeah, he used technicalities to beat the judiciary. But that is what I mean, that it comes with also experience. Yes, he's a lawyer, so you understand the judicial aspect of it. Then same time he's saying that you, the judiciary, you don't understand much of the parliamentary work. So we are bringing it for judicial, so your friends, the constitutional interpretations. But the constitutional interpretations, it moves from the parliament to go there. Yes. They enact the laws. They made the laws and come to you interpret. For you to interpret, to validate. It does not mean that you'll be better than the person who designed it. And somewhere along the line, I think we need that in a country for continuity. Maybe it's so stressed now, autocrats like Obia. No, share parliamentarians. So it be nice or more fun to say or your headmaster. Okay, Obia come in any position with leadership qualities and style. Yes. Either in governance, the same thing in the judiciary. There are some judges who comes to court bullying lawyers. What about that? There are also chief justices who goes to listen and bully all judges. There are also everybody, every sector, anyhow, a human institution, personal characteristics also comes to play. And for me, only their match, but young share the Jumanan Kasan said, or Yadi and Aswanyade. Let us not forget. Once the beginning, NPP for NDC for accusing. So he was siding too much with NPP. Yes. It got to a point, the NPP were also criticizing him, say he was much into his party. That was the latter part. In fact, beginning, no. And to be honest, the state or the president was the one taking care of him. Okay, well, the unconfirmed. And Oberhen said, Shakwa of us obey Parliament or Speaker of Parliament. Obeka at that time, no, I'm sorry, but the reality is that MPs, about 2 or 3, they voted against Michael Quay. Yes, in fact, I think it was 1. And now they were looking for 2, right? Okay. What I say, Sir Oman 2 Angus here. Honorable Michael Quay Ekoso. And no to gain His Excellency Nana Dulanko Kofado also affirmed the decision and allow him to go. Yes. Making it again a member from the opposition party being a Speaker of Parliament in an incumbent government. That was history. That was also another history to note. Do you understand? Yeah. And somehow, anyhow, it all comes with his credentials. Not working also. Of course. So I'm not surprised NDC have left him to stand. But there is a catch. The catch here is that he's going to face a serious problem. The serious problem is that Onua party. The serious problem is that at the latter part of the kind MPP need to begin a standoff kakra. Yeah. the serious part is that Obenya a parliament with a huge gap of about 50 MPs on the side of majority against the minority. What does it mean? It means so when extra stronger and harder, he cannot control that majority parliament this time around. Why? One, absenteeism. We got parliament in Ankasano, they are very lazy, some of them. Now Bashir said a year more or less, whether we like it or not, to be rubber stamp. So be rubber stamp parliament. Members say 160 crown a
yeah.
They know so they carry the day. We are going to have situations whereby parliamentarians Obaba Bese Kwai Nana before Oko parliamenta catch a majority, catch a clerk, catch a speaker say me man war Kosovo no Bako Yarmeko. They will go for 3 months, they wouldn't come.
Yeah.
You remember the issue of Adjusafo?
Yeah.
It was one of those issues. And this is where the energy, the synergy, any abaria agwangbagweno, it has to be put in test. So how he is going to
in the 9th parliament.
In the 9th parliament, how he would be firm and adjust himself against his own majority. Again, when you have such a bigger majority.
But you see, the other thing is that Crawford feels say One president-elect, in fact, they had a brow. At the time when president-elect, now Oyo Mampegini, do baby or Babonte Becas or Korean or Koranoa, or Kwa Omuyen say, but Oyo be our no and the training or parliament.
He's mentioned
it. No, Yeneba. Sort of.
He's mentioned it.
And see, people are even wondering how president-elect Bessan Bonidi so on sign by speaker and in his work, you know, so I'm sure the na or yes, or the next from Dindi and Crawford Becca say, and Casa Papa Grano, or the president was him.
Anyhow, somehow, still, Bagwin that some of us know, obey Joyana, but what I say.
Right.
Yes, only His Excellency the President-elect, that kind of seniority gap, and also a respect man. They have respect for each other. Yes, they've had not just a brow, they had a situation where he wanted to challenge him for the presidential your friend is saying. Yeah. That was a subject matter of discussion. And they had, in
fact, he thought he was better off than John Mahama.
Okay, at a point maybe.
Yes.
But then the other issue was the fact that time and now His Excellency in the 2015, 2012 to 2016. Now Oma parliamentary, Oma your friend ministerial post. On said Wama Agban Bagwe. He felt that he was an experience more than all of them.
Yes.
Wama no. Wama Honorable Rashid Pepu at the time, the first time. Wama no. And your friend is saying, do free Mr. Mensa.
E.T. Mensa.
E.T. Mensa.
Yes.
And Obakai said, or mom, the 3 wise men.
Yes.
And that's packed a lot of anger. And Obusan said, 3 wise men, no, saying. And he didn't even naturally give them even any office. So it was something hanging. He felt, say, he was somehow maybe disrespected. But I think, say, the president this time around, even though some have suggested manka majority no omu elect and a nominate no nanko no afemo, but nevertheless surprisingly the president went ahead to nominate him without much even from the other side from his party, and today is something that it was orchestrated by the party herself. And let us not forget. But
the next strange, because in the 8th parliament, Omai who said the party was controlling parliament. Not the MPs themselves.
Yes.
Until whether NPP or NDC, their party leadership was controlling parliament on what to sign and what not to sign.
Exactly, because when the NDC, the parliamentary board, I say didn't get to be.
Yeah.
And I say didn't get to parliamentary board. A lot of the decisions doesn't come from the front desk. It doesn't come from the majority leader.
Yeah.
It doesn't come from the when it comes to NDC, for them, their structure, unlike the NPP, for them, the chairman of the party has a very huge power, and especially somebody like Seydou Ketia, who had been a parliamentarian before, and he understands. He had been a general secretary of the party, and now a chairman. NPP, the general secretary has a power. The chairman is ceremonial. NDC, The chairman has a power. But the Asiedun Ketia's time of even the
General Secretary, no, to me,
he was still stronger than whoever was chairman. So still being a member of the parliamentary board, and then his party in question, the party in a parliament, it tells you therefore, say, Asiedun Ketia is actually part and parcel of this decision. And I like that with NDC say, when it comes to collective decision, they are better strategics. They strategically perform better than NPP. Because NPP, no, bureaucracy, no, more. But NDC, when it comes to strategizing to do something, no, they come as a party and strategize. So when we summarize all this, we will say yes, Abambagwen, he has had his time, he has had his day, and he's still being pushed to go through the night parliament. He
wasn't pushed.
No, I'm saying that he
actually wanted that.
He wanted that. Yeah, but when he said he's still energetic. He is still energetic. He's strong.
So no never mind who say
with this energy experience, Sanko Okotina fear. Again, because the level ultimate speaker of parliament. But
the other people within the, of course, and I say Michael Kwe or one speaker be more TV. But the other people who are more parliament advocate, for instance, has been a member of parliament for years, just as Alban. So that kind of experience, maybe feel so. There are some people they could have also used as speaker, you know, that kind of thing.
On say or unfinished business. Utie niama okekaye, niama waye, niama waye no. Let us not forget, even when you go to the MPP, the ranking members of MPP, even though some are disgruntled and that's a little bit, when it comes to the work itself, they appreciate Abambagman's work.
Oh, of course.
Because omna yejuma bibi JH Mutamne Nana Domoni Adadeno, they recognize and then appreciate his contribution and that his understanding of parliament.
I think can't take that out.
It will balance well to me in my estimation. The only thing that I have a problem is so the unresolved mystery of the real work of Ghana Parliament. So whether they live up to the expectation. It's not about all the accolades, not all the things are. His Excellency, the third president of the country, I am Honorable Abambagwen Aka. When it comes to the real parliament itself, Ghana Parliament, have they lived up to expectations? I.e., the country's forward marching, i.e., impacting decisions by presidents, making sure this country work. And that is where the Parliament of Ghana, to me, have not satisfied.
On a year cathedral here in 58. Adani Shimimpu ye dekoye children's hospital.
On this side are not against the building of a cathedral. However, Mr. Speaker, because we are Christians, we are not playing to the gallery. We are following the dictates of the Bible. And this is what the Bible we believe in says to us. In Luke 14:28 to 30, is there anyone here planning to build a new house, in this case a cathedral, who doesn't first sit down to figure the cost so you know if you can complete it? If you only get the foundation laid, and Mr. Speaker, the Bible is so telling. The Bible knew Ghana will have a president called Akufo-Addo. This is what he says. If you only get the foundation laid and then run out of money, you are going to look pretty foolish. Everyone passing by will poke fun at you. He started something he couldn't finish. This is the word of the Lord. Don't you look foolish because you have only laid a foundation and run out of money. Mr. Speaker, this is not some church, this is the Bible. You don't go to church.
You are minded to, Speaker, focus on this debate. I don't want Speaker, I'm guided. I've always been focused, Mr. Speaker, but the impression must not be created that the bill was watered down. Mr. Speaker, what the other debaters on this matter failed to address is the issue that it is not merely about the sexual lifestyles of a man and a woman, or a man and a man and a woman and a woman. Mr. Speaker, as sponsors of the bill, Mr. Speaker, that's a harsh kind of.
Your statement is rightly placed on our rules. Mr. Speaker, where we disagree with you is your conclusion. Mr. Speaker, I want to make reference.
What did you say? Where we disagree?
Where I disagree with you is your conclusion. Mr. Speaker, and I make reference to our standing order 76. And with your permission, I read. 76.1. Every application to Parliament shall, and I think the word there is shall, be in the, and every petition must be presented by a member of Parliament, who shall be responsible for the observance of the rules contained in Appendix A. Mr. Speaker, I heard you said, you yourself alluded to the fact that members of Parliament could raise matter that could refer to privileges, and civil society could equally do same. Mr. Speaker, with the greatest of respect to your office, I disagree with you vehemently when you, Mr. Speaker, want to do that yourself. Because it has to be a member of Parliament who has to do that according to our rules.
Honorable member, read the standing order again.
Mr. Speaker, I will be grateful to listen.
Read the standing order again.
Mr. Speaker, it will be good to listen to me. When I'm done, you have the privilege to make your
Minority Chief Whip.
You have to first
read the standing orders again.
Mr. Speaker, I have read what I want to read, and I've stopped where I want to stop.
Honorable member,
you listen to me, and when you hear me,
will you resume your
seat?
And repeatedly heard Honorable Mutala refer to me as a practitioner of LGBT to the hearing of everyone in this house. I sat here and repeatedly heard him
Honorable Minister,
shout at the top of his voice and refer to me as a practitioner of LGBT. And every single last one of you is behaving as if you didn't hear it. And if in response to that I say he is mad, it is only a madman who will refer to his colleague in this house as a practitioner of LGBTQ. When you haven't seen me having sexual intercourse with your wife or your brother or your mother.
Honorable Minister.
When you haven't caught me having sexual intercourse with your wife or your daughter or your mother.
Honorable Minister.
And refer to me in those terms. In those terms.
Honorable Minister.
And we call ourselves honorable members of
this. You see? When you refer to me as your you know, Onua so naja. Okokwatina akando na so na nya no na. Otina na so so akwatina na konwa so ne ade ade de ho nsem ba bebre. Koleza da bi nya kolezada. Akando nya kolezada. Oh nya kolezada. Otina na so no wo kubrei. Wo hwe brei pa. Ni sisi okura sisifia. Sisifia with leg fia. Na mom ne ma wodwe. Na wotina na so tum so de ne twi prano. Oh, yes oh. Sama sisi. Any ade about the enko kwame amoho. Ye ba back into the studio ne Farouk Al-Wahab. Ewa ye ne di nkomo kwame asante ewa homa so kwame. Ma adubio. Kwame.
Ya sɛdeɛ na mo guso a mo bobɔ ene no ɛde ɛkyerɛ wɔ mo a ɛhwɛ yɛn ɛwɔ Onua TV so no na ɛyɛ emrahye bedwafie ɛno no ansana wɔnom ɛde emrahye bedwafie deɛ ɛtɔ so ɛnwɔtwe nyina ɛbɛba na wieyɛ no na sɛdeɛ wɔ mo amra no ɛteɛ ɛwɔ efie ha no na ɛwɔ sɛ ɛdɔm dodoɔ no ba no dani ɛde ne nsɛm ɛtudwa na ɛwɔ sɛ dɔm kuma no nso so no fa no wɔn nso ɛde wɔn nsɛm ɛtwato ɛtudwa ansakra na wɔn atumi ɛde emrahye bedwafie ɛtɔ so nwɔtwe no de abana wie yes anso na akyamehene a oyiwo emrahye bedwafi ha sei owura bagmen ono nso so no de ne nsem ahodo etudwa ye no eye ne nsem etwato kra na no actually no na woye ne se wonom eba na womo ede dwumadi ni nyina aba na wiye na enum no na owura afenwama kense no na ye dom dodo no ba no dani pagya ne nsa kire se Mr Speaker ko basa na se yachia enema kakra esanse eni no se de amamra no ekire no ekire se ewo se anadwo dumienu ena omutumi ede emrahye bedwafie etoso nwotwe ni nyina etumi ebe na wiye na enum no enam so ema Mr Speaker ka se wonyi di na wonhwe no esanse wonim de woye ema owiye na wode ne nsem etudwa wo anawso no wode ebetudwa ekire se sese de omu pagye omumu ede kosise anadwo edumienu ebebo na afei omode emrahye bedwafie de etoso nwotwe ni nyina akọ na wiye na afei omutumi afa emrakwan so na ande etoso enkron no omatumi ensoso age wonom atum na omo afri wodwumadi ase na abroad medi no ekoso sei no ye ne emrahye bedwefo ahodu wonom ensoso edi dwuma ewo emrahye bedwafi ha ya womo eka de etoso enwotwe no ho no ye ne wonom atwetwe nkomo na ye ne owura Sulemana Adam ya wonom ena okotan abato empesua no so a woye emrahye bedwani ewo ho no ye ne no atwetwe enkomo a yenhwe ensema hodo ya wode atudwa ene enkomo twetwe a ye ne no atwetwe ye no ebi.
Right, inti ehwe kwan se member of parliament omo ne di nkomo no wa wotie yen fi radio so wo betimi ene ne edi nkomo eno nti yeguso ya ehwe o miye ye mo sorry ye no ye so one ebinom edidi nkomo anti ehwese yen sabeka omo a woni omo edidi nkomo ewo 8th parliament omo suspended so far suspension till 11:59 na just say parliament no ejuma abawie na 9th parliament omo dia hihye so there will be a lot of new entrants inti foforo no ebeba beka ho no how effective would a parliament be and no edru ho a ye be hunu ba ye kasa ye ade a preparations are ongoing for the inauguration of the president.
Yenhwe ene dissolve the 8th parliament. You were part of the 8th parliament and also eka members of parliament or member the 9th parliament no ehu yenhwe general assessment on the 8th parliament.
Yo medasimi ya em say 8th parliament na a unique parliament, a parliament a ebinsi Ghana hada 137 and one independent or decided so on the MPP by business. We have speaker not only party our bamu a minority A20 and my majority A20. So everything about 8th parliament a unique. And the 8th parliament abon home more if you say challenges are not a WOHO pinche and I'm saying numbers and a penti emrebia fisena chinyo ho so bia adwen so all numbers are obitim de attain I mean say iron Ghana democracy and na edi ba wi better if parliament and ase any jumadi adi ni antimi anya me sure say 9th parliament e beto aso
honorable mayenhwe obinum argue say I said the minority side no nanka mo numbers na decisions bi o hanka mo betumi agina family nanka money majority no edc ani ba say de na manfo kire say ompeso mu hunu no omo enhumo sa
numbers no you can cook figures 137 cannot be bigger than 138 and it's a if push come to shove na ndc fo nyina minority the numbers nyina ba MPP the numbers nyina plus independent candidate also on be business ebe then 137 ados no chan 138 me the major dey say minority side I if yabo pa parliament we yabo because where levy the initial threshold na 1.5 enam pinchen yen tiase and dey by 1.0 tax waivers are abandoned by over $450 million minority and am yam pass e be seen the tax waiver yam pass and the Supreme Court you choked and your minority and can send you two abeka home. There are a lot of things are minority were able to stand their way to stop government. Now so your mind 137 inches say and say about Juma Koso. I was about Juma Koso now so SSI umuno and yes kati. Now as far as a concern ye need to me be I say about SSS and ye be kati and so.
Until Obe described the minority part of the 8th parliament say moye moduma to expectations said the nanka mo person moye no
very gallant heroes if you say near Bank of Ghana eya emwa we call COVID-19 funds are yede ma ban oko airport frontier services any Sputnik V versus Kotoye enyoma ye no edadi e ma ban we train ho free ho no edoso pa nti meka set a gallant 37 e na age Ghana say 2020 aba no President Nakufo the last time we e no nya 169 nka say Ghana ye China and Russia for dia kawaton and so 137 now we nya ye nso nya 137 eno na holding in check abesisa amre we and Timeka said 137, no, there were things that we could have done better. But Majedi said, on hindsight, a gallant 137.
Yen share the ninth parliament eba ediana mo hwe ni mo se mo beye ebeye different ebeboa the democracy Ghana as a nation.
Ninth parliament ebeye different from eighth parliament. Ninth parliament ebeye similar to seventh parliament. But nyame any MPP neighbor, NDC neighbor. Until lessons are yes, you know, seventh parliament no. A big guiding NDC for in the ninth parliament. Near make can say, Emra MPP near 169. On your PB no more yet. Ye mfahon in the Obeka. But President Mama Maya who say, and ye pay and a Ghana for pay. And he say, Omo ye 88 impo, Omo can be benign who say toss more, ye befa, because o man ye chichere. Yamea dom ninth parliament nama ye numbers are. And Sisaya President Mama Peso de Bano. Parliament na my numbers a bit in the NCC no nti me gidi say Ghana for hwe anim say nhyehyɛ papa president mama wo no parliament beboa no na Ghana for nyina boa ama akoso amaye na parliament anya numbers ni say a hye ni bi wo ha ehia complete overhaul of portions of a constitution no me gidi say numbers ne ten e beboa ama Ghana aye better achen say na 8th parliament aye kra
eno na de me next question na e ba manfo age say asemonya to
Right, let's come back to the studio. 137 as gallant members of parliament. No, ya mene nyadwene. Me kama sempe. Also ne nyadwene me boa. Ah, na de manye de. Parliament we na a minority from mwedi pa. Because they speaker my who say you need 2/3, and that is what the law states to be able to make conduct business. As in policy bibi ambetimi aye some wo ho no de half some betna parliament chamber na moye adwuma na emom some be take decisions you need 2/3 and 2/3 is not 138 for Christ's sake and today ba bebre ho anka mbetimi ayo abro nisika je to mo ntumi ayo me de makama adwene mo parliament ni so agu ni afi na mbefra ni aba ho
enwui
egu ba afi na 9 ba ma kire ma dwene wo 8 mu Farouk Al-Wahab. Your opinion about the Kwame here and also interview.
Well, pretty much we find the statistics there then it becomes the owners of it. I mean, we'll have statistics, but if you are to individually say oh probo no prosecute you, there are a lot of things that would also go through. Like I said, some of them were, I would say it wasn't effective. My thinking had always been said, how far has all those on bail pass here, any credentials raised out there? How did it impact governance, i.e., economy, i.e., management and administering the country's mineral resources? You see, if you listen holistically and you listen to all of them, Parliament of Ghana, their work is only about parliament. It's only about bill. Is that the case? No. Well, how does it impact a nation? Their work does not impact a nation because of how they approach, either bipartisan or partisan approach in most cases. It has not impacted Ghana. Where do we say, or what do we say? Should Parliament, consistent and stable Parliament in a fourth republic having 9 governments, now means steer the affairs of the country having one standing, permanent, existing a national development plan. We've never had that. All these credentials to me is nothing. You know what?
Why?
MPP comes into government with a Bible of MPP, which is MPP manifesto. NDC comes to government, as they are going to do now, with a manifesto of NDC. Who wrote those manifestos? And how does that manifesto impact the nation? How did MPP's own impact the nation?
The NDC would say this time around with the manifesto, they decided to go around the country.
Yes,
to take the minds of people.
You go around the country. That's fair, expectedly. But let me tell you that policy advocates or those who push that any developed country, those policy makers, they are not
politicians.
They are not politicians. You solicit also other individual members of your country, either in or out, diaspora, etc.
Yeah.
Your knowledge partner is your universities. You have tech, you have Legon, all the faculties, anything that we're talking about, we are say a governance, a administration, a minerals, a bibiano. The knowledge originates from your universities.
Yeah.
And to me, say Ghana Parliament say, how far has our Ghanaian universities been a knowledge partner of any government, i.e., policy development? We don't develop any policy. Any policy called manifesto, as you are talking, the Bible of all these parties, the first thing they talk about is how our Omo party best sustain power and win power and win power.
Yeah,
that is the first statement.
Yes, the next election.
Second thing is how the party will take care of the grassroots members of the party, not the nation.
Yes.
And then the third thing is that policy, and I say, no, Mama State manifesto. No. Excuse me, with all due respect to the two parties. Sometimes, a particular big share. Somebody wrote on agric.
Yes.
Other one goes to write on minerals. Wait, try to write on galamsey. Then they do collation, they put it together and print and save it. That is what we are going to save the country. Which developed nation does that? What does the parliament? What do they have in hand? Because now to say, Major Agenda 111. Thank you very much. The party manifesto of NDC did not make mention of Agenda 111. Also, Agenda 555. What does it mean? It means who Agenda 111 contracts now was signed. It went into the hands of pro NDC MPP members.
Yes.
Into Onua Onko. No go to your soka, no munyeska in the mind of a party, because that is we are dealing with party manifesto. And to your sanity, they also be created Agenda 555. No, so I enhance why enforce no one is in the base in any to support. Is that the parliament that we're talking about?
Maybe.
No. Do you understand what I mean? And the Parliament of Republic of Ghana is not all these the bills that you sign. The bills that you sign, some of them. You saw, I'm saying that it's a work.
Action,
signing of a bill is your work.
LGBTQ.
It's your work. But is that what
did they have any
actually impact the pockets of Ghanaians? No. Mepacho. That being a Ghanaian presidential candidates or president of Republic of Ghana, either NDC or MPP president, or be jai se or ko na oye juma o si toilet. O see bridge, o see this, or your bohu emankofo. Now what train amankofo na who are will be users of it. What punish you because say or train either the tail end election period.
No commission.
No commission. Is there any parliament that has talked about that practices? How does a president sit down? How does any president sit down? Both parties or sit down. Now China why your project, a year road. I'm trunk road so I want the access. Even the more I use it near block road for the people you deprive them from using for 84 years until they take 2 weeks before election. You go and commission for people to use. In that case, any rational thinking purpose will say, where is the parliament in this regard? Has parliament passed any bill? Say any president or any party to stop that. When you build any road meant for Ghanaians, allow Ghanaians to use, not until elections.
Now, about one corner, I will say commission, toilet near commission, classroom block, maybe a best classroom block. How
would Parliament deal with the issue of a president of Republic of Ghana, either MPP or NDC? In this case, we're having His Excellency John Mama.
Yes.
A big band of Parliament, Yanya majority, and WOHO. Majority so meeting they are changing them. Are they prepared to change the ex gratia? Are they prepared to tell the Ghanaians. It's very good. It will be a good news. What about the diplomatic immunity that covers the presidents? Are they prepared to do that? And on their own yet. When you set that one aside, when would the Parliament of Ghana tell the Ghanaian president, you can't leave the presidency? Now for entourage of your own ministers, 120, about 80% of them. Now do about 200 kilometers away, only to go and commission market. Abra what DCE, what MCE, what regional minister or when would they tell them the excesses of that money that they use, the president traveling, the fuel, any the people behind, and then what the better, any unaccountable interest. Has Parliament spoken about it? So all these things are very fine projections, they are very fine history, they are very fine statistics. Notwithstanding, no, Ghana Parliament, in my view, the 137 that they're talking about. When I 2016 I said to myself, 2020, I said to myself, Ghana, this is the best opportunity for Ghana with that numbers. Only for us to realize it's just one. One person would have been a Brunia, would have been even the most important person in the history. What did we see? The same night. Right now, one who banter be akosu any NPP and what's the name? A+. There must it always be said independent candidates cannot stand in the middle, and both of them are rushing on all the independent candidates.
So no, you understand decision be, then he will move to where
you
he
understand
wants to be,
because the Europe, and I'm quoting Germany as a typical example case scenario. Almost FDP and almost greener alternative party, the Green Party, and the FDP. FDP party. FDP for say on Pesa Germany, editu ebeko country bia omu anti weapons. Ma German ye hun to kwada. Ye mpese obedi American chakoko.
Hitler.
Enti ye mpese ye peace. Green Alternative Party they said Germany bi amenyusu car kra, yusu bicycle. Greenpeace. Verschmutzung. Say environmental pollution. Pese behu smoke. Gas emissions. And to the stand sa party budget me and no the parliament. And when they are going in for ministerial posts from generations long, always environmental ministry, they make sure say there's no boiler be a Google they make sure say everywhere is clean
because that's what they stand for.
Yes, exactly. They make sure say German here bush or here forest, and your baby and I be developing the corona cohort. And Tim protected corona one, Yama flowers in Moho, Yama gardens, you know, go to Galamsey, Green Party. And to a cop parliament with as an independent, they go there with the soul and purpose of what they stand for. Is that what we do here? The answer is capital N or no. Yeah, the end of the day we go and the parliament itself recognizes the importance and then advise we should have majority and minority caucuses. And now we almost at 10. Say la nana tifi, nana a president 10 o'clock. Not time not to call. 10 o'clock. Sorry, babu on paye. Now I introduction. Wabubo din roll call. And for the by president said, "Me, we free him. Okay, Obi, I want to be abeka. Yabobo, Oma, and yes, in up to 11 time. Now I inducted the 9th. That time 11:59. Nana bon empire. Ghana Baba you Moja.
Oh, Baba crowd parliament.
What I say? Not the presidency. No, I could be the speaker of parliament. No, I behold you the president of the Republic of Ghana from Manager 12. And call his excellency Mama. Debbie. No. And Bagwin becomes the president of the Republic of Ghana.
And Chief Justice
Chief Justice baby.
Say your best swear before I best swear a speaker.
Yes. Enti onu mem enti obedi kakra
tituebi
abambedi kakra what I am going to ole nu the end with 3 weeks odo nyakwa di Ghana president 3 weeks what I say
we the hours kakra
we obedi hours kakra what I say am on so record this was once a Ghanaian president.
Yes.
Enti se parliament ne tinase We have a small country. We have a lot of minerals. We have the Nyama BBB. And then a parliament, we are the legislators. We make the laws for the executive. We make the laws more or less for the judiciary also to interpret, analyze, and then also to do whatever that it is. In that entrance, okay, both sides. Yabre. Fa BB to 7 party there. You built the national consensus. You built the national development plan. Because I say NDC people were making noise say His Excellency your mama school to be.
Yeah.
E block we are be. Wouldn't Germany su hospitals be 85% woman. Now hospital or 85% when we are now there's will be
various stage of continuity.
Do you understand me? And now a parliament in so seriously partisan approach on the two. And in my view, and I think the view of many Ghanaians, right, feel say it is not right in the Parliament of Ghana, much as they do a lot of things. However, a favor woman as parliamentarians. Parliamentarian biaji police in Northern. Is this a country that is so risky, security risky, that you have to shut Ghana police by 276 police officers?
I am PB Kokulu on the field.
Me pacho.
Now
what about individuals say you come fear?
So I'm going to Bama.
Now me pacho robbery so a happy for Fiana. MP Sunkunu, what about the MP or Yarida way? Oh yeah. Waka change yakupo so mo MP. You see, there are certain things, they are natural phenomenon. A word there, young Muslims from a religious perspective. But this is not a country that is brutal. You must be a attack a parliamentarian. Papa, mama, oh, Ghana parliamentarian. Election be do omewofu for beba.
Obeba. Obesini mania
birthday party omuko. You know me kwa ye. Oko restaurants, chop bars you kroma.
Esi okwa junior crowd dey work on nipa no see dross ni na osi.
What you say?
Okaka banku. Say woni mba.
O say see dross.
Sir.
Naka.
Oh, Debbie.
Oh.
Sir.
Na kwa me video e wo me kai over.
Where my good friend Okovandapo. What I say, but you are it is no majai. All these things, you know, it makes spicy your politics, but it is not all what we want as Ghanaians. We expect our parliamentarians go to the parliament, represent your constituency, let them know at the purpose near do call Mayente or Kasa.
Sorry, but I want you to touch on the inauguration. No?
Yes,
why President-elect decided say visit other countries now. Or why inauguration? Before then, IGP. As we commercial last week when they were lieutenant, be say Otu from patch of man for IGP Ngusuma. I almost in country so munya.
Unconfirmed report. Okay.
But
let me touch on the subject of why the president-elect Okoye. One, His Excellency the former president became the president-elect now. He had been a president, a vice president, and a president before. And Waba. There's what is called consultations. Or one opposition between you and I, that on the background, on the other side, you know, or consult friends are or presidents.
Yeah.
A be or government after in the binaba. But let us not forget, say the dynamics, you know, MPP and then the presidential candidate. Party Nankasa, a war, a beer, and now for other governments be. And to should be say independent forum.
Yeah.
MPP no joining independent forum. And to any Republican, how many other parties here now for four. And His Excellency former president-elect. Also on one case on the personal friends. Into year 2 Abamano no. He goes out there to extend invitation to say, oh my friend, Pacho, you be swim in for him diabetes. Statutory, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs,
right?
Any Ghana government in Lankasa, our countries be number one, Nigeria had always been the special guest of honor in most cases. Senior Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, we pick a nation that is very close to us. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo of Alassane Ouattara, Togo, your mayor special guest of honor, but or independent. President Kofo Fichano, but no one special guest of honor. But Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, or you saw Alassane Ouattara. Me bacho what I say. And I think Prof Mills, you sue the then Nigeria. I think either Buhari or Asante to be corrected, or be a special guest of honor. It is do say a to Abamana. President Tayen and Namfufo. But the surprising thing, the catch here is that all my friends, the military boys, all of them, one we call it pro-Russian, Omunyineba, Traore of Burkina Faso, Oba.
What's it?
Traore, Burkina president, Oba.
Yeah,
that is Traore, Eba.
Russia now.
As I am for pro-Russians.
Oh,
as anti-French Russians. Okay, Dumbuya confirmed. Say Oba. Asimi Goita, Mali, Oba. Chiani of Niger, Oba. And then we have Niger, Chiani. And then the Republic of Gabon, Ogel, Onzo Soba. No, I mean, they're all military boys. Gabon is a military. Traore is a military. Dumbuya is military. Asimi Goita is military. And
that's not military, man.
And I make sure say these are, we call it new friends of His Excellency the President-elect.
That's nice.
And all of them, no, they wouldn't have. There are certain things diplomacy you can't put on air. But then you realize, Traore becoming the president, he was not too sure and comfortable with Nanado. The reason was that Nana is pro-French, only anti-French, and to advise him, "Menye papa we ni. I'm sorry, government ini. Ebi a cross so yes and ko ba ha and ko beti ma ye no because Ghana and Sankara feature and the Rollins and Blaise Compaoré French for Kukunu. What I said, and to when I find the traits of Sankara on per se, na on ne president on yini our Ghana a bit. But when it there, Omo Baba, what I do not know, what tomorrow no we live to see, say Ombeshe military uniform. And the normal circumstances, they will try to wear military uniform. Why? Because they are still within their revolution. If they don't wear uniform, if they wear uniform,
and were these countries part of those military a year? Nanado Kase under AU. ECOWAS.
And the woman cried ECOWAS now as a copatch of it. And for Oma Casa EU, it was and cried the 3 a declaration of your friends, a pediatric declaration, and Odi friends, Asimi Goita, pediatric declaration 2, and Odi Traore, and Odi Mali, and Odi Dumbuya, and Dumbuya, then Omokasa, your friend Chiani Diano, and Omkaso, Yakwa Take, which here in this studio, and Amka said it will never happen. ECOWAS haven't got even one weapon. I ECOWAS in India. We need power be a bit and indeed. Ombetra crab, Bedak and Pisky, ECOWAS generals, of course. We need Ghana Nana be used as a starter. Ghana no kwano ni military vehicles, yes sir. No, they were Niger. It didn't happen. But all these boys have come together. And the good thing is that
does it mean that we would also be in the good books of Trump?
Well,
because Trump is in the good books of Russia and probably China.
It is an interesting dynamics. Trump is not in the good books of China, but in the good books somehow friendship.
Russia and North Korea.
Friendship a little bit or flexibility. American system does not allow U.S. president to be friends with Korea, but the president himself has a friendship with Russia. Korea not. But then when it comes to Nipatena Airbano, Omina Airbano, ebi ba on behalf of the state, and here the outgoing presidency and the best standing courtesies. Say Ghana as we do, ye ba mo de Ntimosumba ba na. Name on president we ankasa ne friends e ba ne de. I'm aware say the new guys the revolutionary leaders,
five,
they are coming. As a friend in support of the president-elect. The woman is concerned in the bedroom say, you best be from if not anything I talk one. Agri policy. Say His Excellency the President-elect, share the Burkina agri policy now adopting now. It will go a far way to help Ghana. It a beer or no, but one say time ninety. You swear in around 12 o'clock, 12:30. Vice President swear in. As the president in a court conference hall, state conference near the Nakosha Danke to Ebimoho. Then all these presidents, the 10 and the other vice president, Atiku and Co, 2 vice presidents are coming, 1 speaker of parliament, 10 presidents. There might be more. Omina Eba. Some are coming. Gabon is arriving tonight. Obaba na juwe ebi ba beda ade achia entom kwachia ni wia that 15 minutes space when the president in back as into me 10 presidents ye mo time 15 minutes each no me na di nkoma no ma wo hye well no wia wa invite um say mo dinner ball bi e ba so
momra meka
obekobi bebu obaka cho so me time obi desert revolution on fa uniform na krom ha because yes into the omo ye say obeye agreement with the Ghana military and the Ghana government, the president-elect and then outgoing president assure say Ghana military because and you wear uniform.
Yeah, more beyond
uniform because the opposition for a panel once the French for a panel in some money. Omina bit my bakruma be invaded and there's a Ghana military and also Pekino. No say releasing to the airport. Into no after the program, woman military uniform straight away to the airport. Uncle baby anoko.
Right.
And from airport, no, you can find arrival near the Nukon Hotel. The hosting hotel no be hosting. I'm sorry to use no accordion so kakra. What I say? We are not changing. Nata dear the ongro. Maybe or be 5-10 minutes. On in we sat the ambassador on the ground. What is the way forward? No man protocol arrangements. Okay, as you do ho. Yeah, corner, it be a seat 10, it be a front row, and all the deep mobile
would be done
on the left. Days, you know, the middle gap and on better left. Now the president, former president of Ghana, starting from Nanado, no so twaso. What they say? Prof. Mesne, Jerimo Enim, into Ehuna Nadwa, that is the president Kofo Ababe Twaso, and Janado Obesho down the left. Now President Kofo so, and you know, Nancy Sunibia, the other protocols. Speakers in a high dignity.
Right, there's a lot of conversation that we have to have. It's interesting, and that's one of the things people enjoy about you. International relations is very deep with that, and benefit of those who are coming. As I say, being scared from one. If not, what I say, Burkina de Anya Greg the Omoyade, and until Benya home fast was a bit be the free one. Watch now, Yebesia Nundu, Captain Beba Nusia. Wapon non do near Shannon do no na yeso so na Captain Asamba 2 o'clock to 6 enti e wono china na ya brefo dan so NMD minim ni abema technical team no be oboy cameraman sound light producers Harry Eluid Yankee and afa Nana Kwame Obobo Ben and obi oboy Lois ni ade na ida mu nyina ase o china be chia na pa no do